gentlemen, look who is now his way as the President-elect Donald Trump feels the love.
God spared my life for a reason. Together we can truly make America great again. God spared my life for a reason.
This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. Cringe meets cringe meets cringe meets cringe on steroids. That is what we're starting to see from the MAGA movement. Donald Trump was at a UFC event in Madison Square Garden. And of course, he was there alongside his new cabinet, because this is what politics has turned into in 2024. It's a show on steroids where the president is showing up and literally doing a walk-in to a fight, like a scene from a movie where everybody stops walking so they could pose for the camera, and then they all cringe walk directly into Madison Square Garden, where of course they get a standing ovation, where you see unhinged MAGA supporters who are literally going to a UFC fight carrying flags of Donald Trump's staged assassination attempt and waving it in the air. And Donald Trump was joined by a bunch of the cringe here. We had RFK, we had Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, we had Kid Rock in a fur coat, Tulsi Gabbard, and of course, who else? Elon Musk, because it seems like wherever Donald Trump goes, Elon Musk is literally right beside him. In fact, they're starting to call Elon Musk the first buddy, and it's giving me vibes of Antichrist, false prophet. That's the vibe I get every time I see the two of them together, especially knowing that all of a sudden we've transitioned from just Elon Musk talking about and doing experiments with the Neuralink. Over the years, I've shown you the experiments that have been done on animals. Animals, of course, dying, getting the Neuralink put inside their bodies. And now we're at a point where Elon Musk is side by side with the President of the United States. And everything Elon Musk is talking about tickles the ears. It sounds wonderful to people out there. We need to take away government power, less power for government. Of course, everybody out there would and should agree with that. But here's the catch. That's not what is really going to be going on here. And it's looking more and more like they're going to start marketing this digital ID and digital currency as being decentralized, even though it's not, so that people out there feel free from government control. But in fact, they will be under more control than ever before. And the reason I'm doing this video is because of what Elon Musk is wearing on his neck. If you look closely, he's wearing a necklace. Now, of course, the sound asleep sheeple who continue to get deceived by, it's such a cringy faction, right? Kid Rock, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, you had dorky Mike Johnson in there. It's so cringy, but Christians are falling for it because, again, they were pushed to the brink. The government and the CIA were deliberately doing all of these things for years and years and years to get them so agitated. They're getting poked every single day with some of these insane stories that the government was actually entertaining as real. When we see people going in front of Congress debating about what a man is and what a woman is and who could have babies and who can't, people have literally lost their minds. And of course, Christians and conservatives have gotten so angry about it, they are thrilled, as I've been saying recently in my video since the fake election. They are on cloud nine, so to speak, because they think that the world is about to be saved. But really, when I show you what's on his necklace, you're going to start thinking to yourself, right, these people are showing us signs and symbols that they're not here to save. They're here to reset. And the fourth industrial revolution is coming with Donald Trump and Elon Musk at the top of the power structure in America. So just for an example, here's somebody who tweeted out, look at Elon's necklace, Alpha and Omega. It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Of course, she's quoting the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 13. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. But that's not what Elon Musk is wearing on his necklace. You see, the Alpha and the Omega symbol is an A with the Omega symbol going through it. That's the basic Alpha Omega symbol that we see. What Elon Musk is actually wearing is an Omega symbol, but if you look closely, what's in the middle of that Omega symbol? It's an all-seeing eye, as in the all-seeing eye of Lucifer. the eye of providence, what we see on the back of the dollar bill, what we see every single celebrity in Hollywood constantly do when they're holding up one hand over their eye. And this should be concerning to Christians out there. This should be concerning to Republicans. In fact, this should be concerning to Democrats as well, because Omega symbolizes the last, the great end. In Greek, it signifies a grand closure, as in the conclusion of possibly a large-scale event taking place that may, in fact, reset the United States of America as we know it. So he's wearing an Omega symbol with an all-seeing eye inside of it. Now, keep in mind what I've been talking about for a long time with digital currency and blockchain. And then you start thinking about the digital ID and having this embedded in you. You should think no further than the Neuralink, which doesn't have to be embedded in you via a procedure where they cut your scalp open and put a microchip inside. In fact, Elon Musk himself has stated many times that you'll be able to get the Neuralink via an injection. So you'll be able to get this technology inside of your body without having to have a surgical procedure. In fact, some might say that many people out there already have been experimenting with getting nanotechnology inside of their bodies. So this is representative of the end. He's not wearing the all-seeing eye inside of the Omega to say that he needs protection or he's protecting himself from the wicked billionaire elites, because Elon Musk is the wicked billionaire elite. And if Elon Musk wasn't aligned side by side, going everywhere like a puppy dog with Donald Trump, or should I say, Donald Trump is really going everywhere like a puppy dog for Elon Musk. If they weren't aligned with each other, everybody out there would be looking at Elon Musk the same way they look at Bill Gates. But because he's become this beacon of freedom by design, because they want you to support him so that in turn he can condition you into accepting artificial intelligence, into accepting Neuralink implants, inside of people's bodies, of course, telling you that this is all in the name of bettering humanity. People who have Parkinson's and all these diseases, this will make their lives easier. Never mentioning, of course, why so many people have Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, mainly because of the chemical baths that are getting dumped on us and shoved in our food every single day that we're unfortunately forced into consuming, because they make it very difficult for people to be able to farm on their own because they force you to use their Monsanto dirt. But besides, it's pretty difficult to farm when the sun isn't shining through because your sky is gray every day from all the chemtrails that they're dusting over our heads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So really, when we talk about the advancements in technology and why, these are such great things that you can help people who have, lost a limb in a war or lost a limb doing this or that, a police officer, a 40-year-old woman who has dementia. And people aren't saying, why does a 40-year-old woman have dementia? They're just going, oh my gosh, could you imagine getting in at 40? She can't even remember her own kids. That's so tragic. Well, wait, we have the solution for you. We're not going to tell you that we did it ourselves in the first place. We have the solution. Get this technology inside your body, mix iron and clay, and no longer be a human being, because we'll be editing your genetic code while we're doing it. So this symbol here represents, really in many ways, a reset. It represents the end and a new beginning is what we're looking at, right? But he's not saying this from the standpoint of, hey, I'm wearing this symbol because we're going to stop the Illuminati, because these guys are in it. These guys are a part of it, and they're bringing about the fourth industrial revolution. Don't forget, most recently in the videos I did on Elon Musk, showing you where he's actually tweeting out about the fourth industrial revolution. Might I note that the fourth industrial revolution is a creation of the World Economic Forum. It is a creation of Klaus Schwab. He literally wrote the book called The Fourth Industrial Revolution. He literally did. So for everybody out there who constantly talks about Klaus Schwab and eating the bugs and hates globalists, but still thinks that Elon Musk isn't one of them, even though he's going to the same events as Klaus Schwab, and Donald Trump's not one of them, even though he's going to the World Economic Forum, they are baiting you. And signs and symbols reveal all of it right in front of us, because they wear these things for a reason. They wear these things because there's significance to it. He's not wearing the Alpha and Omega. He's literally wearing the Omega with the all-seeing eye of Providence inside of it. There is destruction and chaos that is coming. That's what that reveals. And it's also interesting to note that it seems like every single day he's wearing this Occupy Mars shirt over and over and over, right? He wears it almost every single day, this Occupy Mars shirt. And I think it's interesting as well because if you're not familiar, we can't go to Mars. In fact, we can't even go back to the moon because we can't penetrate what's above us. So they like to put on this show about us being able to go to these other planets. But I think it's interesting because the symbol on his shirt of Mars, this red planet, just reminds me of Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Remember that video that Elon Musk just shared on his Twitter account about Dark MAGA, saying Dark MAGA, unite, Dark MAGA, come together as one. That entire video was about the sixth seal. They literally were showing you the sixth seal being opened. They were showing you the sun turning as black as sackcloth with the eclipses in the video, the red blood moon, the war, Satan's army gathering on a battlefield with demonically possessed eyes, which of course also happen to be Donald Trump and Elon Musk with these demonically possessed eyes. But the majority of people out there think it's just some type of trolling. Elon Musk gets away with all of this stuff when he reveals himself. He always is revealing himself. And he gets away with it because people say, well, that's just his quirky humor. Even though it's not funny, it's cringy, if anything. I mean, this whole conservative movement has become cringier than some of the insane stuff that we've seen the Democrats do. I mean, we've seen it all over the last 4 years or so, right? Some of the things that were happening at the White House. You remember the Nutcracker video that I exposed, which showed Donald Trump getting assassinated? In that video, where they had all of these people invertedly dancing to the Nutcracker. It was cringe as can be. The events they have on the lawn outside of the White House now, cringe. But that's also very cringe. When you see this circus of people, Kid Rock side by side with the president, huh? Kid Rock, by the way, another guy who gets a free pass, right? Gets a free pass. He's openly admitted to being at Bohemian Grove. Well, guess what? If you get invited to Bohemian Grove, you're one of them. Because if you don't know how these secret societies work, once you're in, there's no way out. So what do you think? They threw them, they were like, oh man, I like that Kid Rock song, bada bada bang a dang diggy dig. Yeah, let's invite him to our secret club where we bring in all of these youngsters from outside areas and we run around in the woods naked for a couple weeks. Let's bring Kid Rock in because we like his song. He won't tell anybody about what we're doing in here. We could trust him, right? Because we like his song. Well, of course, that's not how it works because he's one of them. Right? So Kid Rock can say that he's gone to Bohemian Grove and these people give him a pass, right? Elon Musk can say that he's been there and they give him a pass, right? Donald Trump can go to the World Economic Forum and tell us what a great guy Klaus Schwab is and they give him a pass. Roseanne could come out and say she's MAGA. So everybody forgets that Roseanne openly admitted to selling her soul or his soul to Satan himself on television while doing the all-seeing eye and the 666 and the devil horns, right? It's amazing how these people can only see what they want to see, right? It goes both ways. The Democrats only see what they want to see and the Republicans only see what they want to see. They turn a blind eye to all this stuff that should be pulling them out of the matrix. But they think in their own mind that they're red-pilled, right? Red-pilled, you're MAGA. Conservative Party, red, we're awake, couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, couldn't be more asleep. Might be more asleep than the actual Democrats out there who are falling for communist propaganda every single day, just like the conservatives are falling for this cookie cutter propaganda that gets pushed onto them about how all these people are going to go into the White House and they're going to take government power away. And Elon Musk has got a team that's coming into the White House and he's going to make sure that the government runs more efficiently, and you don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about AI governance. That's what he's talking about. He's going to remove jobs from humans in the White House and everyone's going to cheer. Why are they going to cheer? Because everybody hates politicians. So they're going to go, less politicians in the world. That's great. Oh, these politicians are sexist. These politicians are racist. These politicians never leave office. Let's do something about it. In fact, we'll cut people's taxes down because they won't have to pay these politicians anymore. We'll just use artificial intelligence and everyone will say, yes, yes. Those are jobs we're okay with you taking away in favor of AI. Then all of a sudden you say, wait a minute. They're starting to implement AI in the government, AI governance, the fourth industrial revolution. This is the book written by Klaus Schwab, the same globalist that everybody says is the most wicked man alive in 2024, the same person that everybody sees, cringes, and wants arrested, right? Look at your friends here now, your friends Donald Trump, your friends Elon Musk. They're implementing it for him, okay? And they're showing you these things right in front of you, these signs and symbols. I mean, he's literally wearing Omega with an all-seeing eye. I've never seen a symbol like this before, where you actually see Omega. I mean, it might even just be a symbol for the Antichrist, right? That's what it might be a symbol for. The end, the Antichrist with the all-seeing eye of Providence, the eye of Providence, the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, right on his chest. And then what do the Christian conservatives tweet out? Look at Elon's necklace, Alpha and Omega, right? And they quote the Bible and they think Elon Musk is suddenly a Christian, just like Russell Brand is suddenly a Christian. How could it mean that all of these people who are all into science, they're all into technology, right? All of a sudden, he's got trans kids, Elon Musk. All of a sudden, all it takes is for him to come out and say, oh yeah, I'm open to God now. I'm open to Jesus now. Well, if you were, you wouldn't be doing these things with technology, right? You wouldn't be implementing the things you're doing. You certainly wouldn't be trying to mix or mess with people's genetic codes by putting tech inside their body. Your body, your temple, the same thing that you're trying to alter and get inside of under the skin, so to speak, right? But all it takes is, this has become clear and clear. When you look at these characters and you look, the Bible tells us a tree is known by its fruit. You look at Musk, you look at Trump, you look at Russell Brands of the world. These people, all they had to do was come out and do fake baptisms, right? In that clip that I play, in this Madison Square Garden, when Trump came out yesterday, they played on the big screen. Donald Trump had a video on the big screen. This is a UFC fight. He's already been picked as president, right? They play a propaganda piece. It reminds me of like China when they bring in Xi Jinping or whatever his name is. They roll him out. Or any of these communist countries, when they bring the president in, they literally expect everybody to bow down and worship. And, they put propaganda right on the screen of Trump. And what is he saying on the screen to everybody in Madison Square Garden who's supposed to be there to watch a fight? He talks about God and how God saved him so he could save America. And they fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. And it's one of the things too that I've mentioned recently is like, these people think that the government are these bumbling fools. Like they think the CIA, they're like, oh, the CIA is doing DEI and the FBI and the government agencies are cringe. They don't know what they're doing. They mastered mind control, mastered it. So nothing that's going on out in the open is because they're clueless and tone deaf, right? But these people are just like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. They don't? Look what they've got you sucked into, a deep psychosis. They've literally built a martyr who's aligned himself with somebody who most people would say this guy could be the Antichrist. If I told you Elon Musk was the Antichrist 5 years ago, most people would be like, I could see that with what he's trying to do, a brain chip. Now what are they saying? Oh, he's the best. He's quirky. He's cool. He's great. He helped get Donald Trump elected, right, in the fake election. So now Elon Musk can market the Neuralink to me and digital currency to me, and I'll go along with it, and I won't even realize what the mark of the beast actually is, right? When it's implanted in me, right? And of course, he has a direct connection as well to cryptocurrency, and Donald Trump is getting ready for that too, right? Ooh, we won't bring in a central bank digital currency, right? That's what they tell you. We'll give you Bitcoin. That's free. That's decentralized, right? You don't know who created it. You don't know. We're just making its stock price through the roof, and we're getting everybody on board with it. But this is organic and natural. This is of the people. I mean, how these people fall for it is beyond me. They literally, the majority of people have no sense of self-awareness, and they give the government zero credit for being able to manipulate them. But again, it's like if you're getting manipulated every single day, and you're in like I said, you're in a bad relationship, you're probably not going to see it until you're out of it. But your friends around you could see it, and that's what we all are, right? We're all watching this, and we're going, how are they believing this? How are conservatives who are looking at some of this stuff revolving around Trump, these assassination attempts, which if it was Biden, they would say that it's completely fake because they would look at the evidence and they go, yeah, that looked fake. How did they miss him? What about DARPA's magic bullet? Why don't they take him out in other ways? Why did they have to do it at a rally on national TV? Well, because they wanted you to see it, because that's how they build up a hero. That's why he stood up and made sure he got that picture. Like I said, the day that it happened, how significant the picture was when he stood up and pumped his fist. I said it 1 hour after it occurred, that was going to change the world. And then they started saying it was going to change the world. But I wasn't saying it was going to change the world for good. I was saying because it's going to get people sucked deeper in the psychosis. And it has. So Elon Musk, I mean, again, these people can't see it in front of them. They wear signs and symbols in front of him. He's got his Occupy Mars shirt. And you know the next deception's coming, which I'm covering in a separate video. Project Bluebeam is on the table with Elon Musk being involved in this stuff with aliens, UFOs, Trump talking about it. So they are preparing for massive deceptions that Christians will fall for hook, line, and sinker because they're going to try to make people's lives a little bit easier in their minds, of course, right? By telling them that the price of things has gone down, and then they'll see it at the and they'll just be thrilled. They'll be thrilled that they could buy 2 gallons of milk versus 1, right? And they'll start trusting more and more and more. And they won't even think biblically about the Antichrist, about deceptions. They'll just think that he's God's chosen person, God's chosen one. God chose him, anointed him, selected him. Why will they think that? Well, because the propaganda machine has been telling them that. And they think that it's organic. I've shown you all the clips from the Sinclair broadcasting, right? How many times have we seen the clip where all the news anchors repeat the same sentences about threat to our democracy? Everyone looks at it, they go, oh man, how embarrassing, right? They did the same thing. They do the same thing with everything because repetition's the key to mind control. But they did the same thing with Trump. How many of those people, I showed you clip after clip after clip, divine intervention with Donald Trump.
The devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet, and he roared!
You don't get slight grazes to the ear. I mean, that is divine intervention, that he was not, mortally wounded.
Fate stepped in, God, the hand of God, call it whatever you like.
Evil came for the man we admire and love. I thank God that his hand was on President Trump.
The fact that this is about milliseconds and millimeters that changes this from being an attempt and an assassination should really talk about the divine intervention that has occurred here.
Trump is truly blessed by the hand of God being able to evade being assassinated.
And we thank him for protecting our next president, Donald J. Trump.
It was a clear assassination attempt. I think there was maybe some divine intervention.
If you didn't believe in miracles before Saturday, you better be believing right now.
It was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening.
So that was truly divine intervention as far as I'm concerned.
It's having everybody on the internet saying this is divine intervention. Every frame of the attempted assassination is nothing short of proof that it was divine intervention.
We mistaken on President Trump. God must have been watching down on the president.
I personally believe that God intervened today, not just on behalf of President Trump, but on behalf of our country.
I'll say that, in my opinion, probably the most famous NFL catch in history is called the Immaculate Reception. I call this the Immaculate Protection. I believe that there was divine intervention to make sure nothing happened to this man. It's extraordinary.
But let's just be real. Donald Trump is anointed by God. Whether you believe in God or not, he had a divine intervention that saved his life. And you can call me crazy, but I think that's the only thing that truly saved Donald Trump. And now he's going to have more support than he's ever had.
Willie, you're right. He's been posting on his Truth Social account. Here's his latest post. It came in just moments ago. Thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers yesterday. It was God alone, he said, who prevented the unthinkable from happening. We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness.
Well, when God shows up that clearly, it's hard for even the biggest detractors to deny it. They go, what did I just watch? You just watched God turn Donald Trump's head, literally. We all just watched it. I mean, think about God making his presence known. I mean, on the biggest possible story you ever could. Now you've got people going, okay, I believe it. I believe it.
And they can't see. They can't see when they hear all these people using the same talking points. They can't see that they're getting spell casted on them, that they're literally being put under mind control so that they hear this over and over again. Then they go repeat it and believe it as truth. Speaking on behalf of God? How dare they in the first place? But these people literally believe that God intervened when the government could have wiped him out many times already, but they believe there's a shield around him, right? And the Bible talks about great deceptions. The Bible talks about delusions. And you're living in it right now because the mind control is deep. So Elon Musk, this clown show, shows up at the UFC fight. right? You got Tulsi Gabbard, Kid Rock, Dana White, right? Strategically walking out. Mike Pence, the Speaker of the House, RFK, all of a sudden is on. I mean, it's unbelievable. They walk out there, everyone cheers, and Elon Musk is wearing an Omega with an all-seeing eye on it. And they want you to think that, well, he's wearing it to protect himself from the New World Order and the Illuminati and the elite billionaires. Oh, right, he's only worth, I think I said $500 billion. Elon Musk is literally the richest person on earth, right? But he's one of those billionaires, you have to like him because he supports the candidate who's working for both sides that you like, right? People need to get out of this deception quick before it's too late. I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.